Welcome to Scary Time by Indie Drop-In Network. Each week we feature an episode from the best independent creators. Subscribe for great scary content. If you would like to help support indie creators, check out our Patreon at the bottom of the show notes. Today's episode is from Boos and Bourbon. Don't forget to check out the show notes for links to subscribe and follow on social media. Enjoy the show.
Begin.
You're listening to Boos and Bourbon.
Welcome to Boos and Bourbon, a podcast where we talk about all things paranormal, and bourbon too. Now, here are your two hostesses with the mostest, Kim and Jen.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Boos and Bourbon. I'm Jen, and this is Kim. Yeah.
Hi.
Yes. Sorry, I just needed to really emphasize that.
Gee, thanks, Jen. Thank you.
No problem.
What's been going on?
Well, I guess the plus is that with some of my extra time here where we weren't filming, I managed to get the gym pretty much done. I've had some, secretly, no one tell anyone, I've had some clients in already just to test her out. So, yeah.
That's great. But that's really cool, Jen. I'm super, super excited for you.
Wow.
Good stuff.
You just wait till you come in.
I can't wait.
And you can...
But I was just going to say, look where we are now versus where we started. We have changed careers. You have got your own business. Oh my God.
Booze
Who are
and
you?
Bourbon just turned right up.
Turned up.
You turned up.
So that's great. Great for you. So exciting. I'm going to celebrate by having bourbon today. Are you?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And today's topic is definitely a good one. Jen, thanks for bringing this one up. You just love to make it awkward with, our would you rather questions. You always make me want to crawl underneath of the desk. And you're going to want to make me crawl underneath the desk with this entire episode because it is relationships with ghosts. And yes, apparently it's a thing. And we're not just talking about any old relationship. No. We're talking about a physical relationship, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. So I guess you could say this is our part 2 for the Reach Out and Touch Me episode, where we realize that ghosts can actually touch you, which is also super creepy. But this is actually just taking it to the next level.
Just a little hand on the thigh,
Ew, it gets worse than that.
Actually, you know what? I think I did a would you rather of a purple nurple. So that kind of goes with the same idea.
Yep, I did a ghost butt pinch as well.
Yes.
In a would you rather. So
there you go.
I guess it's a thing.
It's a thing.
So Jen, you also picked the whiskey today, didn't you?
I did. It's up there on one of my faves in my collection right now.
Yeah. It's so good. And it's one that we've definitely covered before, but it's a finished bourbon. And it's Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. So it's actually finished in a second oak barrel, which is, it's definitely charred. It's heavily toasted, lightly charred. Mm-hmm. It comes in at 90.4 proof. It's just all around delicious. I think that Woodford Reserve is always a good choice, but this is the next level.
Always a good choice. Yes, that is true.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Squeaky.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
You having a taste? It's so delicious.
Just couldn't resist. It really is. Good choice, Jen.
Thank you.
All right, Jen. Have you had a sip of your fave?
Oh, I did.
Excellent. Well, I guess that means that we're going to play Would You Rather?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can go first.
Okay.
Would you rather admit to your friends and family that you're in a relationship with your dog, or would you rather admit to your friends and family that you're in a relationship with a ghost?
I mean,
one could like get into the gray area of bestiality, and that's
Right.
awful.
I'm not about the bestiality thing, and they already know my dog's like, a bit of a loony, so that it would be fitting with some of my ex-boyfriends and my track record, but like, I just don't think that would go over as well, as opposed to me saying, I finally found Tupac, and he's a ghost now, and we're now in a relationship.
Well, I'd believe you if you said that, and I'd be jealous.
Right? Like, who, the ghost of Tupac? I could start releasing new albums on his behalf. Like, it would be me rapping, but his lyrics, I'm sure it would go over really well. But like, it could be something quite nice,
Yeah, I bet there's women out there that believe that they're in a relationship with Tupac's ghost, and I bet there are also people that believe that they're in relationships with Prince's ghost, Michael Jackson's ghost.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a
You're
long list of ghost boyfriends that I'm sure a lot of people have.
Yeah, it's possible.
All right. Good answer.
Going with the similar topic here. Would you rather have an uninvited ghost caressing your thigh while you're out to dinner with your husband?
Oh, wow.
Or would you rather have a celebrity ghost, a very cute one at that, but I'll let you choose, end up between you and your husband in bed one evening?
I'm going to have to go with the unexpected hand on my thigh at dinner.
Okay.
The other one's a little much, Jen. A little
much.
I mean, they're both a little much, but yeah, the alternative is definitely much. Definitely weird. Okay, so guys, just after the break, we're going to get into today's main topic, which is super weird and super out there, but hey, it's a thing. And it's long-distance relationships, like the other side long-distance relationships. Mm-hmm. So stay tuned. Welcome back. As mentioned before the break, we've got a super strange topic. And, doing the research and development on this one was also strange. Made me question a lot of things. But hey, if we have any listeners that have had this experience, please let us know. Because, we don't necessarily have to talk about it. You could be anonymous and come forward. It doesn't really matter, but I'm just kind of interested. Is this really, 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 really a thing? So from People magazine, actually, which I'm kind of surprised that they even published an article like this, a 30-year-old woman from England isn't worried about being ghosted by men in real life. Why? Because the woman claims to have fallen in love with a specter she met while sky high. Amethyst Realm, that's her name, told The Sun that she has had 20 paranormal lovers throughout her life, but it wasn't until she flew to Australia on a business trip earlier this year, this was in 2018, that she came across an unbelievable surprise. That's right. Believable. She says, quote, "I'd not had a phantom fling for a while as I was away on business. Starting a new relationship was the last thing on my mind." End quote. Realm, who's a spiritual counselor, said, "Then one day, while I was walking through the bush enjoying nature, I suddenly felt this incredible energy. A new lover had arrived." When it came time to fly back to England, Realm was worried that she would have to leave her new lover behind since ghosts tend to stick to one place, she explained. Yet, once she boarded the plane, Realm said she felt the spirit's presence and realized he was coming along for the ride. Okay. I was happy and excited. So excited that we had to do something about it, she claimed. So we headed to the Plain Loo, and well, now I'm a member of the Mile High Club. What?
Whoa.
Okay. Realm told the Sun that she and her special spirit are happily in love and even called him her soulmate. I know in my heart that he's the one for me, she said. We're soulmates meant for each other, and that'll never change. The fact that he's a spirit is by the by. And because her family is quite alternative, Realm said that they've been very accepting of her new relationship, even if others don't know what to think of it. Most of my friends are happy that I found love. If they think I'm mad, then they seem to be keeping it to themselves, she said. While Rem claimed to have had sex with the spirit, she didn't hear his voice until they were on a recent trip to England's Wookey Hole Caves, where she said he asked her to marry him. Wookey Hole Caves. Wookie. There was no going down on one knee. He doesn't even have knees. But for the first time, I heard him speak, she told the newspaper. I could actually hear his voice, and it was beautiful, deep, sexy, and real. While Realm and her ghostly lover, who actually doesn't have a name, will be getting married next summer, they are following in the footsteps of another woman from the UK who told people she married the ghost of an 18th century pirate. And interestingly enough, stories about sexual attraction to spirits is nothing new.
Yes. So, now let's get into Amanda's story. On July 23rd, 2016, Amanda Teague, 45, married her Haitian husband, Jack Teague, on a small boat in the Atlantic Ocean. The weather was stormy and waves rocked the vessel violently. The divorced mother of 4, who worked as a Jack Sparrow impersonator in Ireland, said, "I do," in a white lace gown and veil. And someone else said it back, but it wasn't the man she was about to marry. He was already dead. Teague made headlines last week after news broke that she married the ghost of a 300-year-old Haitian pirate. She claims their spiritual relationship began in 2015 when she was lying in bed at home in Drogheda, Ireland, and sensed his presence. After 6 months of continued contact with the ghost of the deceased freebooter, she developed feelings for him, and the two made plans to officiate their love for each other. Similar to most normal relationships, the couple acts out when jealous, have arguments about responsibility, go away to Dublin on weekends together for romantic getaways, and even engage in lovemaking. Teague describes their chemistry as incredible and says that Jack is the best sex she's ever had. In speaking with Newsweek, Teague confirmed that their wedding was similar to one at a registry office, in the sense that it was short, small, and functional. The couple held another wedding in October 2017, which involved a more comprehensive group of family and friends to better celebrate their union. We sailed into international waters so we could legally marry. It's not legal in the UK or Ireland to marry a deceased person, so we spoke to some lawyers and did it officially, she said. Teague says she is the first person in the UK and Ireland to legally marry a ghost. Despite admitting that, as it stands, the law does not expressly recognize marriage to a deceased person. Teague explains that she followed proper procedures instructed to her by lawyers to bypass the rules. A registrar was present at the wedding who registered their marriage. Jack Teague gave consent through a medium that was independent of her and Amanda, even changed her last name to his to honor their nuptials. "I haven't been challenged yet," Teague said. "There was one government agent who asked me to explain my situation, and I told him about spirituality and our connection. He just accepted that. If in the future I'm challenged, legal advisors have told me that there are certain routes we could go down to try and get our marriage recognized by law. I'm willing to do it and fight for our right to be married," she added. Shlomit Glasser, a family lawyer at Glasser Jones Law, told Newsweek that marrying a ghost and marrying a dead person are two different things, but neither are legally recognized in the UK or Ireland. "It's not illegal. It's not a criminal act, and you are not committing an offense, but the government does not recognize it. They won't be allowed the benefits of a married couple," she said. Glasser admitted that there was one legal avenue in which it could be possible, although she insisted that this conclusion was reached from applying general family law principles, and it has never been tested on the present set of facts and is purely speculative. She would have to go to a jurisdiction where it's legal, follow the procedure in that jurisdiction, and when she returns to the UK or Ireland, she must prove that it's legal in the jurisdiction where she was married with proper documentation. And only then could the authorities agree to recognize it.
Hi, I'm Flo from Progressive. Being a baseball fanatic like me can be stressful. It's not all sports points and touchdowns. So Progressive is going to help you take your mind off your team for a moment. Instead of thinking about how they missed that goal point score, think about the Name Your Price tool from Progressive, letting you choose coverage options based on your budget, unlike your team that missed the end zone net area. Well, anyway, hope this distraction about Progressive's Name Your Price tool was helpful. It sure kept me from thinking about all those penalty balls. Yay, sports!
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Glass Rosette. Right?
So
yeah.
I don't know how she came up with the ghost name. I mean, you and I have been investigating.
Yes.
And unless it's like through Spirit Box or I honestly don't know how she would have gotten to figure out that that's what his actual name was enough to be like, yeah, I'm going to change my last name.
Right.
It's kind of crazy. Okay. All right. Moving along. This is something that's also just popular news in general. When you think about the movie Ghost that came out like 3 decades ago, it was a surprise box office success by telling the story of a murdered man attempting to communicate with his lover from the afterlife. So sure. Okay. Gotcha. Then sex with spirits is also spoken about, which is called spectrophilia. And it's part of many folklores, including Arabic, Celtic, Greek, and Hindu cultures. And even more recently, the singer Kesha dropped the song Supernatural, which she told Ryan Seacrest was about her having sex with a ghost. And it is now known that the song is about several sexual experiences that Kesha has had with supernatural beings. So I'm going to read you some of the lyrics because I found this crazy. Baby, when we're touching in the dark, can you feel it? I can hear the pounding of my heart. Can you feel it? When you take my body to the stars, I believe it. Boy, this love is supernatural. Can you feel it? Come take me in the night. I feel it in my blood. Want the darker side. Baby, when we touch, look me in my eyes. Poison me with love. I'll bring you back to life. What? So apparently you can watch the full interview where she tells Ryan Seacrest this on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm sorry if we sound awful and we are just being so judgmental right now. I'm sorry. This is just something that we're just learning to accept, I guess, as something a little bit more popular in culture than what we were aware of. So apologies if this offends anybody.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not a common topic. I mean, I'm sure, Kim, if I came over and was like, yeah, my new boyfriend is sitting here with us right now. You just can't see him because he passed away 60 years ago. But he's super cute and he says hello. Like, you guys would probably be like, what did you smoke or eat before you came here? Or like...
Maybe, but if see, I trust you and I trust your judgment. So if you are 100% like on with this and you were saying like, yeah, no, we're together and this is what he's all about, I'd probably have to be like, okay, cool. Do you mind if I ask him a few questions?
Yeah, no, true. Yeah. Good point.
Okay.
All right. Okay, so now back to our first subject, Amethyst Realm. She has said in an interview, sometimes I get the feeling I'm being moved by her now ghost fiance. She said the wedding will be a pagan ceremony, but she still has a bit of planning ahead. We haven't discussed the details yet, she said, but I think it will be quite a big do. That was back in 2018. So what has happened since then?
Good question. What's happened?
The spiritual guidance counselor from Britain has taken her own advice and ditched her undead fiance. 32-year-old Amethyst Realm, who lives in Bristol, revealed yet surreal news on ITV's This Morning program. The pair met in 2018 while Realm was vacationing in Australia, and it was another journey abroad that proved fatal as her beloved, named Ray, began acting...
Oh, he has a name now!
Yes, Ray. he began acting oddly, according to this morning's Twitter feed. Speaking to hosts Philip Schofield and Holly Willoughby, Realm said Ray fell in with a bad crowd of fellow spirits in Thailand. This led him to becoming really inconsiderate, with their getaway turning into a paranormal party.
He just wanted to go watch some ping pong shows in Thailand. What can I say?
The Daily Mail reports Ray would bring back various unknown ghosts into their hotel room. Realm picked up unwelcome vibes together with some unpleasant odors, she mentioned. Crashing and banging and strange noises. If Realm hoped that Home Sweet Home might calm her man down, she was disappointed. When relationship trouble continued and random guests from the hereafter made a mess of her spiritual plane, she decided enough was enough. Had to eject a problem partner from the premises. The bride not-to-be cleansed the house with sage and made incantations. I ended up placing black tourmaline around the house, which keeps spirits away, she added. Tourmaline is a mineral and semi-precious stone. Talk about hard measures. An interesting fact which emerged is that ghosts are frightened of COVID.
Yeah, right. There's just no way.
Realm thought Ray may have stressed himself out over this to the point he began acting less like himself. Apparently, the afterlife has a social distancing policy. The Mirror News wrote about a shocking end to the segment where technical issues on Realm's side suggested the presence of forces beyond human understanding. Realm and Ray's plan was to tie the knot at Wookie Hole Caves in the English county of Somerset. Appropriately enough, the limestone location has its own ghost in the form of the Witch of the Wookie Hole. This fearsome figure had a reputation for ruining relationships.
Oh, man. I knew there was something going on with that hole. I could tell.
It is a Wookie hole, so I mean, that's So I didn't know that, I guess old Ray there really got in with the bad crowd, and then it was just, he turned out.
Yeah. Okay, so then there's also Anne Elizabeth, a 52-year-old charity worker from Lancashire. Says the sexual encounters with ghosts have provided comfort in times of heartbreak. At points of sadness in my life, I felt a strong presence, she said. Kitchen utensils would go missing and appear in the living room. The ghosts were playing with me and assuring me that I was not alone. At 43, after 2 divorces, I decided I needed a break from men, but not from sex. Mediums taught me how to become more intuitive and in tune with the paranormal. Lying in bed, I wondered if I could summon a ghost to come and have sex with me. I just can't even imagine. Closing my eyes, I envisioned a strong, handsome man with big shoulders. Just read that. Minutes later, Anne says she had a ghostly visitor. I kept my eyes closed throughout because I was worried I might scare him or ruin the moment if I opened them. Afterwards, I thanked the ghost and asked him to leave, which he did. I jumped out of bed with flushed cheeks and glowing skin and went about my day. Professor Chris French says, if you believe in ghosts and have a vivid imagination, you'd imagine it was possible it was a ghost. Or it could be a hallucination or a false memory. Anne is adamant her experiences were real. Over the next year, I had sex with 9 ghosts, she said. Well, Anne, keep your pants on, for God's sakes, Anne. I know that they were different because each time I always asked for a different male form. I only wanted sex on my terms, in the morning and in my bed. I never had to worry about STDs or him not calling me. But in 2009, I realized I wanted to meet a real man, so I stopped with the ghost sex. I met Jonathan in 2010. I told him about the ghost sex and he was understanding. He's spiritual too. Jonathan proposed in 2011 and we moved to Italy 2 years ago. We feel the presence of ghosts frequently, but now that I have the love of my life, there's nothing more I need in the bedroom. Gosh, okay, well,
So
Yeah, like
so
I said
messed up.
earlier, I'm really sorry if we've offended anyone, but I just don't know about this one.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, who are we to judge? But I guess like it could be like a new show like Love Island or something. It could be like
Yeah, this could be a spinoff.
but a real boo.
How do we
Yeah,
go
it could be.
about doing auditions though, Jen?
I think we just have to put it out there to like our spiritual friends. Like next time we film, maybe we should just add it in. Like when we take a little time out, be like, we're taking applications and auditions for this
The next Boo
show we're
Bachelorette.
doing. And if you're looking for love with a human, then
Oh God, that
Let
could
us
go
know.
so many different ways. Interesting. Yeah, okay. Well, if we remember when we're filming next, I'm interested to see where this takes us. I'm sorry.
so weird. Oh wow, that was a good one. It was a good one.
Good idea. Okay, so guys, if you have an interest in this stuff, please contact us via email at boosandbourbon@gmail.com. Also, you can find us on social media. Jen, where can people find us?
You can hit us up in our DMs on Insta as well.
Yes.
We also are on Facebook, Boos and Bourbon, the podcast. And occasionally we are on YouTube. We actually had a very fun video post there not that long ago in our last episode. And
Yeah.
Twitter, not so much sometimes.
Never.
Never. Okay, never again. No.
That's my fault. I'm not a Twitter fan.
I'm not a Twitter fan
sorry.
either, so really neither one of us are, so that's fine. And then of course, listen to us on any of your podcast providers that are available out there to you. And if not, we are part of the ABV network, so you can find us there as well.
Absolutely. And it's not too late to make an order of some bourbon socks or anything else bourbon and ghostly related
Yes.
on our Redbubble store. So check that out. All of the links to everything we do are on our Instagram and on our Facebook. It's a Linktree link, and it will take you to our YouTube. It'll take you to our Spotify. It'll take you to anything.
Right.
And Jen, I'm really disappointed that we're doing this on FaceTime right now, and you can't see me.
Wait, no, I have you back. Oh my God. And now she's a giraffe.
Oh yes, you're a mouse with one tooth. Okay. We do now unfortunately have to say goodbye to you guys. Thank you so much for listening to us. And if you ever just want to reach out and say hello, you can definitely send us a private message on social media.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Boos and Bourbon is part of the ABV network. For more information or to advertise on the show, please head over to abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening, and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akeley production.
Thanks again for listening to Scary Time by Indie Drop-In Network. Check out all of Indie Drop-In shows at indiedropin.com. If you would like your show featured, reach out to us at Indie Drop-In on all social media or go to indiedropin.com.